What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you guys been following my channel, you guys know that we are getting very close to finishing the project Honda Civic. Now there are a couple more things that we got to do, of course, but this car is, well, pretty much done as far as the paint goes. There are a lot of mechanical stuff I still need to finish. So a couple things that we need to paint are the side moldings. Also, these bumper fillers here, one of them does have a dent that I was beginning to remove. So we do have to remove that little dent there, but pretty much these are some of the final items that we need to paint. I also wanted to do an oil change today. So we're gonna be doing an oil change on the Honda Civic, and I also wanted to wash it because I haven't washed it pretty much since I've owned it. So let me show you what I got. Well, I finally got it loose, guys. After fighting with this thing. Let's see how. Hey. I can't get the cap off. But she's out, she's loose. All right, let's get this thing drained. That was one of the toughest oil filters I ever had to friggin' take off. Holy crap. Let's see how damaged it is. Ooh, spilling oil. All right, let's go ahead and put our new oil filter on. Now it's time to put in some motor oil. We're gonna be going with Royal Purple in this one, full synthetic. So we got the old radiator out with the old fan out. I went ahead and bought some silicone hoses on this thing too. So here's some new silicone hoses. We're not going to be changing these out. I'm just going to be changing the upper and the lower radiator hose. I'm trying to compare the two. It's kind of I don't know, kind of looks like it's not the right hose, but at the same time it does. So yeah, it's kind of an awkward hose, but anyways, we'll make it work. Alrighty guys, so new Mishimoto radiator is in. Went ahead and installed the upper hose and the lower hose. They were actually the right ones. They looked a little funny, but I ended up chopping a small piece on the upper hose. It was just too long, and because of that length, it was kind of throwing out this bend out to about here. But yeah, so we ended up just chopping the hose just a little bit, and then that actually made it fit better. And yeah, put some clamps on it. They were the old clamps, so you could see they're not the right size because you still see a little bit of a tail. But yeah, anyway, new Mishimoto radiator. We got to fill that up with coolant, and I do have a nice little funnel that I can use for this so that it doesn't spill any coolant. No, not like that.
Why?
I don't know how to pour coolant correctly. All right, let's go ahead and start up the vehicle. And let me go grab my keys. All right. All right. They don't sound too bad. Alright, sorry guys, I couldn't record everything, but car's all nice and washed. Try to dry it but the new chamois that I got is absolutely horrendous at drying. And it's also at night, so you can actually see the fog is rolling in and it's condensating on the car. So all right, so we got the Honda Civic pulled out of the bat cave. I will say that she looks real good right now, and yeah, probably one of the cleanest SIs here in my area. So now we're gonna end up working on the bumper fillers. So we're gonna work on that body work, and yeah, let's go ahead and get started. This is about a week later after priming the bumper fillers and the side moldings. So let's go ahead and show you what I got. So yeah, things didn't come out too well, but we're gonna go ahead and sand these out. This one actually still has a dent right there, so I'm gonna put some body filler over this. This is epoxy primer. It is more difficult to sand than regular primer. It tends to gum up your paper. What I found, at least the best way to sand this epoxy, which is made by Eurochem, sand it wet. That's the best way to sand this epoxy primer. Reason being is it doesn't clog the paper as much, and still cuts down the primer just fine. So once we do that, put a little bit of body filler on this. Sand it one more time, and then base and clear these. 45 minutes after laying down the primer, the epoxy primer. Came out really, really good. There is a little bit of hair or something, I'm not too sure, maybe lint that landed on it. But it's looking really, really nice, no runs. A little bit dry on this molding here, but I'm not too concerned with it. But overall, all the parts look really good and pretty much ready to go as far as base coat. Now, I am going to wait about an hour. Instructions say wait an hour before you apply color on this. So I'm going to wait an hour. It's only about 45 minutes right now, but I'm going to wait the full hour just because I've been running into so many issues with these parts. I've already resprayed it twice, and this is going to be on the third time. So I don't want any issues right now. So I'm going to wait that full hour and then go ahead and shoot some base coat. We got some base coat over here. Of course, the Urichem silk base and the Milano red. And these are pretty much the last takeoff parts. Now, I do have one more thing, which is the lip, but we got a crazy reaction, and I'm not even going to go there today. I kind of want just to do something simple. I do have to work at 5 in the morning, so I'm trying to get this thing done within the next hour and a half or so before I have to head to bed and head to work in the morning. So, yeah, it's about 9 o'clock tonight, and well, let's go ahead and wait for this thing to fully dry, and then we'll shoot some base coat on top of that. Hey guys, so I'm done spraying the parts. I think they came out great. Used the Welcome Ego Carbonio. I don't even know where I put the spray gun now. It's so small, I lost it. The Ego 190 Carbonio minigun did a really fantastic job. I would say its strong point would probably be more on the base. I think that's where it's really well suited. It's very small gun. However, the pressure regulator does get in the way, so you do have to remove it because sometimes, you know, when those little intricate areas, it's kind of tricky with that regulator on there. So I ended up removing it. It does improve it quite a bit. The gun is very tiny, and it doesn't have the biggest fan on there. I would say probably, I didn't really measure, but I would say anywhere between 4 to 6 inches of a fan, so quite small. It does use quite a bit of air too. I thought it would be using a little bit less, but it does use quite a bit of air. So my smaller air compressor, it could keep up just because of the CFM isn't that high, but it still uses quite a bit. It is a HVLP gun, so that could have something to do with it. As far as the parts go, I think I did some slow-mos or some bead rolls. They actually came out really good. Let me just flip the camera real quick. All right, there you go. So the clear is actually flattening out. I don't know if you can see that. Got a little bits of dust. That's normal. That's gonna happen in a garage, guys. But yeah, the clear is still flattening out. Let me see if I could get closer here. Quite a bits of dust. Let me see if I could focus a little bit. Maybe not. I don't know. This camera has a mind of its own, I guess. Really nice though. I think the Carbonio did a fantastic job. It's going to be a spray gun I'm going to utilize a little bit more just because, you know, it's kind of nice to use it with the small air compressor and with those larger guns. I could still run the larger guns, but for these types of jobs, yeah, those miniguns really do well, especially for guys that are spraying at home that don't really have the largest compressor like me. As you guys can see, very small air compressor over there. And it keeps up just fine. But like I said, it does use quite a bit of air. I thought maybe it might use a little less, but the compressor was kicking on here and there. Not as much as a big gun, but you know, still for a small gun, I figured it would use a little less air. All right, so we installed the bumper fillers, this guy right here, and this had installed the side molding. Check that out. Man, that thing is looking so nice. It's looking damn near complete. We are missing the door handles. I do have them, they're already painted. I just need to put them on. But man, this car is, whew, it's pretty much done as far as like the paint goes. And it looks freaking killer. I know you guys can't see this side, it's too dark, but man, I can't wait. Can't wait. There's so much stuff I want to do to this car. And yeah. Oh, by the way, so we did buy a supercharger for the car. And I know I put a post online, but this car is going to get supercharged. Got the Jackson Racing supercharger right in there. So it will be a B16 supercharged Civic Si. Yeah, I can't wait till this thing is done. Anyway guys, that's all I have in store for you guys today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. This was like probably a week's worth of work done on the Civic, but I try to compress it all in one video for you guys. But anyway guys, stay tuned. I'm sure there's gonna be plenty of more content to come. There's gonna be so much work that we need to do on the Civic. So yeah, anyway guys, have a good night. Stay spraying. See ya.